Yo, what's good, everyone? I'm about to come on in about 30 seconds. 30 seconds. Yo, what's good? We're live. You guys see the title of the live stream. Sabiri is extremely frustrated that the fight has been called off with Deontay Wilder. Channels have already talked about it. More so or not, a lot of the channels are going to be able to get these headlines quicker than me because I'm on the other side of when this type of news breaks. But nonetheless, I wanted to go ahead and give my thoughts. I find it extremely and boxing fans are the ones who are frustrated. Frankly, it's just another slap in the face to Deontay Wilder that Fury has come out and said that he is feeling frustrated that the fight isn't happening. Now, I've left the link of the article in the description. It is an article from Sky Sports. So not really surprising. Obviously, Sky Sports is from the UK, so they're going to be pro Fury. And obviously, they're trying to cover of Fury trying to escape the fight due to COVID as much as they can. And if you haven't heard the story yet, I'll just vaguely run over it real quick so you can kind of see it with your own eyes. Let me just pull it up here. It's more than disrespectful. All right. So here it is, guys. Sky Sports, Tyson Fury must endure a, quote, very frustrating wait for Deontay Wilder, which is set to be rescheduled in October. And I told you guys that it's going to be October. That's what they're pushing for. And when we came on here talking about this before, everybody was saying, nah, I think it's going to be September. He's got to fight before September 15th. This is the Gypsy King that we're talking about. This is Bob Arum that we're talking about. This is Top Rank that we're talking about. Really frustrating for Tyson, it says. By the time he gets into the ring, he will have to be out for nearly 20 months. Well, whose fucking fault is that? I don't want to hear this baby crybaby bullshit. Promoter Frank Warren reflects on the postponement of Tyson Fury's third fight against Deontay Wilder. All this is, guys, is, like I said, covered up. Them trying to make it as if, we're not trying to disappoint the boxing, and more in particular, they have to figure out a way to not have the UK fans so upset. BK fans have been so loyal, right? Extremely loyal to Tyson Fury. And because of the silence, they had to come out with something. And I for that they will eventually come out with something. But All this is just a half-ass by the boxing fans, more so to pacify the Fury fans, because the Wilder fans, we already know what's up. We don't care about none of it. We want to hear an explanation. We want to understand why this fight is not happening. How did he get COVID? Team showing up to UFC fights when they're supposed to be positive for COVID as well. Why isn't Tyson Fury self-quarantined? How does a world-class fighter not prepare himself to avoid getting COVID? Was he vaccinated or not? You know, that's what I want to know. So, how much more you guys want me to read through this article? I'm guessing that you probably Frank Warren's Fury's UK promoter confirmed a 32-year-old tested positive for COVID-19 and expects a new date to be finalized. So there's still not a date finalized, but I told you they're pushing for October, sometime in October, which is a great shame it's been postponed, but it is what it is. AKA, we don't give a flying mess that Deontay Wilder has to wait more than a year for his retribution and his fans and his own damn fans. Right here, in quotes, it's looking sometime in October, which is a great shame it's been postponed, but it is what it is. Man, I can't believe this shit. I really, really can't believe this shit. In the meantime, guys, if I'm going along here, it seems a bit too choppy, just let me know. I'm on an island right now, so we've had some tropical storms, and I'm just, if it's too difficult for you guys to follow it, just let me know, and then I'll just cut straight to audio. Feeling distraught, feeling disappointed, feeling frustrated. Don't give me that bullshit. Tyson Fury, multi-millionaire, is frustrated. Expert genius. What's good? Prince Cobbs, morning. What's good? Janasa, good to see you back in here. Hey, Boogie, what's good? But thanks for stopping by. The way Fury is protected by ESPN/UK and the mainstream is sickening. Absolutely disgusting. Up goes Frazier. Why isn't Tyson saying anything? That's a good question. I've asked that. Why isn't Fury or Fury's team saying what happened? We don't want to hear this half-ass shit. We don't want to hear, oh, hey guys, we're just frustrated over here. It is what it is. You know, COVID. You know, we're positive. We're just gonna fuck over the boxing fans because we've been fucking over Wilder for more than a year now. We didn't want the third fight. We tried to ourselves out of the fight. We're trying to run to Saudi Arabia. Wilder ain't shit. I beat him the second fight. I mean, that's basically what the consensus is in a nutshell. Thanks for coming back. Good to see you again. WJ Luckett was good. Expert genius. I hate that fucking excuses. I also hate the narrative Fury would have been out of the ring for 20 months like Wilder hasn't either. Shake my head. That stood out to me too, expert genius. The fact that Oh, Pierre poured out of the ring for 20 months, the poor guy. We tried to make the fight with Joshua, and we couldn't. Wilder just kept wanting to fight us because there was a guarantee in the contract that there has to be a third fight. And I've been training, and darn it, now I got COVID. Man, shut your big baby crying out. I'm sick of this shit, man. And then Fury fans get upset at us as if we're the ones that are creating this turmoil. Your boy Fury is creating this turmoil. You can sit there on your little soapbox all you want. Fury ain't fucking the boxing fans over. Only thing that I hear from Fury fans is, oh, it doesn't matter because Fury won in the second fight. So it doesn't matter anyway if he's fucking the fans over. Oh, so you like to be fucked. That's what you're saying. So here comes Gamecore. What's good, Gamecore? Thanks for dropping by. Face the truth, he says. Stop making excuses for no skill having Wilder. So, and what did I just say? What did I just say? For everybody that's in this live stream right now, what did I said that that's the only excuse that Fury fans have. It doesn't matter if Fury got COVID and he's fucking the boxing fans over. Only it matter. And Fury won the second fight easily, so get over it. Oh, okay. Okay. Like getting fucked over. I got you. And I try to display discipline with the way I use my words. But I'm really pissed off, man. Pissed off. And I said in earlier live streams talking about this that I can't imagine Wilder's head at this moment. Guaranteed his team has advised him to, stay quiet another date. But Wilder and his team needs to push extreme and not accept this October date. It's unacceptable. Levels. There is no evidence being provided other than he said, she said on whether he does have COVID or not. And the reason why we question it is because the media said that him, boxers, and people in his team also tested positive for COVID, but yet they're out in the public. You guys also lied about the vaccine. You said that he was fully vaccinated, but he wasn't. You can cry wolf only so many times. And needs to push extremely hard to not accept this October date. And if Fury and Warren and Bob Arum and everyone else involved on Fury's side slither their way into getting the date that they want, Wilder needs to go to plan B with And, I told you guys the other day, it's been 40 at that time. It's about 48 hours now, and yet or anything from Fury's team. And it's only a matter of time where they'll, and what do they release? They release a bullshit article from Sky Sports, which is writers, saying that, well, Tyson's really frustrated right now. He's been out for 20 months. All right. Hey, Boogie, I appreciate that. I'm going to switch over to audio and hopefully it gets a little bit better. I know more and more people are starting to drop in. So I want to make sure that my thoughts, are clear and concise. So hopefully this is a bit clearer for you guys and we can keep this live stream moving. I mentioned earlier, I'm on an island. We had tropical storms out here, so my internet's a mess. So I'm trying to work through it. I appreciate you guys' patience. The expert genius. Truth is, you're a fake-ass Fury fan. You weren't rocking with Fury before this at GameCore. Yeah, more than likely. So if you're just joining, welcome. I just wanted to point out an article that was released by Sky Sports. You may or may have not heard about it already. I know a lot of boxing channels have already talked about it. But I said earlier in my live streams a few days ago that it's a big waiting game right now. We're waiting for the Fury team to release something. They have to, because there's a laundry list of unanswered questions. And what do? They released this bullshit article, Sky Sports, saying, oh, poor Tyson Fury must endure a very frustrating wait for a trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder. And here it is set to be rescheduled in October. I warned you guys. I warned you that they're going to be going for October. Here it is, guys. Sky Sports right here. So we've been waiting for about 3 days now and some change for a statement. And that's what we get. That's what we get, guys. So continue to comment here and feel free to leave your thoughts. I know at this point it's just me ranting right now. I mean, look at this photo right here. Look at this photo. You guys see this photo right here? This photo says 1,000 words. And it's funny they use this photo, right? SM, what's good? It's funny that they used this photo because look at Tyson smiling. I don't know if you guys can see that. But look at him smiling. It's so funny that they use this photo. Make it a little bit bigger for you guys. See, you got Wild here and his headphones on, focused. He's got that 1,000-yard stare. And you got Tyson here just smiling in an article from Sky Sports. Said Master, high quality content. Fury isn't showing any respect towards boxing fans. 100%. Thanks for dropping by, bro. I'm not sure if you've been here before. If you haven't, make sure you hit that subscribe button. This is what we do over here on Divine Sense Boxing, as we talk that real shit. A Boogie says Fury doesn't really have fans. Wilder has haters. It's an interesting point. Lamar was good. What I don't understand is why people say Wilder can't beat Fury because he can't mentally get over the so-called beating he took the second fight, projecting your mental weakness on Wilder. Interesting. So hopefully at this point, guys, you can hear me a little bit better. Let me know if you can hear me okay. Just give me a thumbs up in the comment section so I can keep this live stream going. If it's too rigid, I might have to cut it and then just make a video and upload it later. But I saw this article when I woke up, and I get this news a lot later than all of you guys do because I'm overseas. So a lot of this news drops when I'm sleeping. So, I wake up and I see this shit, and it's like I see it pop up on my phone, and I don't even know how it did because I don't follow Sky Sports, but it popped up on my phone for some reason. This article was on Facebook or something, and they said that, and the headline was, that Tyson Fury was frustrated, and I thought, okay, maybe this is good, maybe this is an explanation, and I go in there and read it, and all it is some half-ass excuse to pacify the Fury supporters. Trick Boxing says Fury know it's on a level playing field, and here you clean on my end. Appreciate that. SM. The media would have eaten Wilder up had he pulled the COVID card. Excellent point. Excellent point. I brought this up several times in my previous live streams. If the tables were turned and the shoe was on the other foot and Wilder was the one that got COVID, imagine the outcry. Imagine the hate. Imagine the ridicule. They would exploit him and destroy him on social media and all the big networks. Just imagine when you look back to the second fight and all the or after the second fight and all of the allegations came about from Wilder's side. Everybody from Stephen A. Smith all the way down to YouTube boxing channels, big and small, they tore Wilder to shreds. He's a sore loser. He can't accept defeat. Excuses. So imagine all that hate, right? That's just a preview. That's an appetizer to what he would get if he was the one who got COVID and the fight was pushed back. Expert genius. I have a question. They say Wilder fans are fanboys and not real boxing fans. So the question is, do quote unquote real fans troll? Just a question for a friend. Yeah. I mean, for me, a troll is a troll and a fanboy is a fanboy, but a lot of the times it's one and the same. A true fan, in my definition, is someone who supports a fighter and supports them and accepts all of the things that they do right and what they do wrong. A perfect example of that would be I've always been a supporter of Floyd Mayweather, for example, for years. It's how I became well known in the YouTube community 10, 11, 12 years ago. But anytime he did something that I felt was not justified or silly, I called him out for it because that's what a true fan does. And when it's time for them to go into the ring, you show them support and love because you're a true fan. It's almost like how you would treat someone within your family or a true friend. And I've never came on here and said that Deontay Wilder is perfect. Deontay Wilder's never made mistakes. He's made plenty of mistakes. I think the way he went about all the whole allegations and letting it spiral out of control, he could have approached that much better. But at the end of the day, the proof is in the pudding. The delivery could have been better, but the facts remain. And I'm still a true fan and a supporter of Deontay Wilder. And before I even hinted at talking about any of the allegations, because I didn't get into any of that like most boxing channels were. I made a video, clean, cut, and dry, black and white, no filter, raw, right? And I said 10 reasons why Wilder will crush Fury. Period, point blank. So I live up to my word. Moped, good to see you back. What's good? Ray Charles says he is frustrated because he hadn't been able to cheat. He left juice up. Yeah, one of the interesting allegations that was brought to me was the whole HGH, human growth hormone allegations that were brought up from former team members, sparring partners, or people that went to the same gym as he did and described how he looked. So we don't know the true reasons on why this whole COVID situation has popped up. And I'm not going to bet my house on it's like an actual hoax, because quite frankly, I just don't know. It's like being, it's kind of how I feel about God, right? I don't know if he exists, but I will never claim that he doesn't exist because I just don't know. And that's how I feel about the whole COVID thing. But because there hasn't been any evidence or any clear explanation, I'm going to assume that even if you do have it, you're using it as an excuse to get out of this fight because you're not ready. Maybe you do have COVID, but you conveniently got COVID on purpose. Being reckless, being undisciplined, allowing people to come in and out of the gym, not, taking the correct precautions as a world heavyweight champion should. Perhaps you're going out and partying. Perhaps you never got vaccinated, even though Bob Arum and Top Rank said you were vaccinated. So it doesn't matter if it's a hoax or not. Anyways, I don't even have to spend any brain power trying to figure out whether it's a hoax or not because it's irrelevant. If you have it or don't have it, you were fucking undisciplined. Why can Wilder conduct himself properly and train for this fight and not catch COVID. I don't want to hear none of this, oh, it's just unlucky. That I will not accept. I'm sorry. Not sorry. Oh, Williams, what's good? Just because the proof hasn't come out doesn't mean what he said isn't true. You're referring to Fury. Okay. Expert genius. Moving on. It's crazy because they say they're real fans, but they troll more than anyone. White fans, AJ fans, not so much, and so-called fans, trolls like crazy, but they're quote unquote real fans. Well, I mean, obviously, they're going to throw that word around for their own convenient platform. Like I said, man, I spot them out. I spot them real quick. Fanboys, trolls. It's not like the Pacquiao fans, a lot of them. Sometimes you find transparent Pacquiao fans, but a lot of them, they think he's God. Like straight up, like not even joking. Straight up, they think he's a god. And they think every loss that he's had, it wasn't his fault. The referee was against him. Mayweather was running. Even when Jeff Horn beat his ass in Australia, oh well, Pacquiao, he was going through a divorce and he wasn't right mentally, but it's that type of shit. You feel me? It's that type of shit. And that's how Fury fans are. And I hate to say it, 98.9% of Fury fans are from the UK. And they support Fury because that's their countrymen. And they feel like it's their duty to root for their man who comes from the same country as them. And no other reason other than that. They're just a little bit lucky that Fury happens to be a massive human being who can move around better than most people at his size, and he's got some boxing skill. So it's easy to ride and die for a guy, plus the fact that he's your countryman. But that's pretty much it. Why do we support Wilder? Sure, he's an American. I'm an American. But that's hardly the entire reason why I support Wilder. I support him as a fighter, as a man. I believe in the principles that he stands for. He tries his best to be the people's champion, the best way he can be. He admires fighters like Muhammad Ali, who made it his life's work to try and be the people's champion. Muhammad Ali said it best. I'm going to be the people's champion the way I want to be the people's champion, not the way you want me to be the people's champion. And that's what I respect about Wilder. But he does it with honor and courage and respect. That's why I'm a Wilder fan. Now, when it comes to somebody like Mayweather, for example, I am a fan of his skill. I think he's one of the best to ever do it. I don't agree a lot of times what he does outside of the ring, but what makes me not a fanboy is that I can call him out. So anytime a Fury, quote unquote, true fan, to go off of the expert genius's point here, anytime a Fury, quote unquote, real fan comes in and says, I think Fury's going to win the fight. I think he's a better fighter. I don't think Wilder has what it takes. But what he's doing right now with COVID is bullshit. That's a real fan. Case closed. Medicare Foundation. What's good, man? I'm not sure if I've seen you in my live streams before, but if you've been by before, I'm sorry if I didn't notice you. If it's your first time, welcome. I'm not a Wilder fan nor a Tyson Fury fan, but I have been following Wilder and Fury's issue. Your analysis is factual and frank. I'm a fan of your channel now. Good vibes. Much love and appreciation. Oh, Williams. Tyson seems like he's scared. He's the only champ with no title defenses. Keep drilling that point home. Thank you, O. Williams. Frank Sparty. Welcome. What's up, brother? Why is Wilder putting up with this farce? COVID plus out of a huge crowded okay. His team was out with huge crowded UFC events is either bullshit or criminal. 100% agree. Two-time champ, zero defense. Keep driving that point home. You the realist. Ciso. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Thank you for the love and support. The COVID-19 is fake when it comes to top-ranked fighters. Theo resigns June 13 and June 15. He has COVID-19. We're going through the Fury situation now, and it's inconsistent. Yep. SM. Fury tried to slip out of the fight, and it failed. Then he showed up to the press conference looking like a bad-built potato. He saw rage and fire in Wilder's eyes, got shook, and had to get out. I'm going to highlight this comment because that shit is deep. That's just deep right there. Yo, SM. Peep game. It wasn't just a simple little flame in Wilder's eyes that scared Fury away. It was the flame of the phoenix. You feel me? That's how much rage and retribution is coursing through his veins. Tyson ain't dumb. And he thinks that if he's going to play us like we're fools, like trying to convince us that the third fight is going to be exactly like the second fight. Don't fool me. WJ, keep speaking the truth, Divine. All day, every day. Ray Charles, Fury fans can't knock Fury because he supplies them with good coke. That's tough. Lamar, I 100% agree. It's good for boxing when a top-ranked fighter takes a loss and immediately wants to fight that person again. Yep. Trick boxing. Wilder's a true champ. Throughout his career so far, I've yet to see the man display any misdoing and others hate still. Yeah, I mean, I remember, what was it? Was that before the second Fury fight when that whole, like, till this day, when that whole thing was going around YouTube and everyone was kind of talking about it? I think he went at, was it Radio Raheem or something like that? And people even criticized him for that. I remember the Fury fans coming around saying, this guy's a weirdo. This guy's got issues. What is he talking about? And I want to make a point right now that it just popped in my head. I want to make a point right now. Now buckle your seatbelts. By the grace of Zeus, I knew that he will plant this seed in my head. So I just mentioned about till this day and how it encircled social media. And guess who ridiculed Wilder the most? Fury fans. Oh, it's ridiculous. What is this guy talking about? This guy's an idiot. It's ridiculous to bring up something that happened 250 years ago. But check this. England just got done playing in the Euro final against Italy. Yeah? You may not know this if you don't watch soccer, aka football, but I played the sport professionally for 8 years. A lot of my teammates were from England. Sometimes I feel like I know English people better than their own people. But they just got done playing in the Euro Cup final against Italy. 2 black players on their team missed 2 penalties at the end of the game to win it. One of them was only 19 years old. And guess what happened? The fans went berserk. Absolutely berserk. Calling them all. They went on social media after the game was over and Italy won, right? They won the Euro Cup. And all the fans went on social media and started bashing these 2 black players. All kinds of monkeys and gorillas and putting out all kinds of emojis. Calling them all kind of racial slurs. Oh, but Wilder's stupid. He's a fool to bring up this type of stuff. To talk about something that happened 200 plus years ago. Till this day. Freddie Ruger, what's good? Good to see you back. I get heated, man. I need a moment to calm down for a second. Monopoly Inc. Music. I like your channel. Well, I like you for dropping by and showing me some support. I appreciate you. Make sure you subscribe if you're not subscribed already. Freddie Ruger. Black American champions get nothing but worldwide hate. Look how the whole boxing community dictate the Ukrainian champion for years, though. Once USA gets a champion, he gets shit on. Till this day. People get upset. People get upset that I talk like this. Okay, keep it about boxing, Divine. Don't get so emotional, Divine. Well, that's all we got as men. That's all we got. We got our wits and we got our emotions. Especially on the internet. Otherwise, I'll be punching some of these people in the face. Because that's how I deal with bigotry. SN, my first time here. This channel is golden. I'm subscribed. Big thanks, big appreciation. And on that note, I'm putting together a Patreon. It's nearly finished. I'm going to start promoting it in my next live streams very soon. And there's going to be a lot of exclusive material to be a Patreon. If you decide to become a Patreon, I'm going to be talking about my world travels. I've traveled the world for over 16 years, lived in 5 different countries, seen a lot of shit. Become a Patreon, I'll talk about those experiences. I'll also be dropping videos about my experiences being a cut man and being a strength and conditioning coach for fighters. And other bonuses, like me talking about who would have thought. My stories of being single for more than 15, 16 years and life has been great. Let me tell you. So, be on the lookout for the Patreon details coming out very, very soon. In the meantime, make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you hit that notification bell. You don't want to miss when I go live because this shit gets heated up in here. That's why my microphone is red. Represents heat. Represents fire. There's a reason why I do everything that I do. I don't need no black microphone. I need a red microphone. Yo, Freddie Ruger. Yeah, I'm at the moment I'm around Southeast Asia. I don't want to give my exact location. Just have my reasons, but I'm in Southeast Asia at the moment. Kind of waiting out a little bit to come back stateside soon, and that'll be another added bonus of joining the Patreon. Once I do come back stateside, organize an event, we can all meet up, chop it up about boxing, maybe have a barbecue, shit like that. And that'll be me giving back to the community and me giving back to all those who join as a Patreon. So that's also in the future. Vance Edwards, what's good? Preach and teach, brother. New subscriber. This is an On Point Fact channel. Big respect, big appreciation. And thanks for taking the time out of your day to drop by. A lot of guys are probably either working or got other stuff going on, and maybe take a moment out of your time to jump onto the live stream. I respect that. I respect that a lot. So it never goes forgotten. C Swift, salute. Thanks for dropping by. If you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe, click that notification bell, stay a part of the conversation because it gets real up in here. Now, thanks, I don't know if you guys noticed, but we had a few little trolls pop into the stream there momentarily. But as soon as Divine Sense Boxing starts spitting that flame, they're nowhere to be found. And that's another way you spot a troll, a fanboy, a hater. And how I conduct myself here on this red mic is how I conduct myself in real life. I only hang out and associate with the real ones, the in-depth ones, the intelligent ones, the intellectual ones. And if you don't have the ability to critique yourself and criticize yourself instead of others, then you're never going to evolve. You're never going to be promoted in life. I'm not talking about your job or your relationships. I'm talking about in life. If you don't have the ability to criticize and critique yourself, look at yourself in the mirror before you judge and critique others, you will not be promoted in life. You hear me? And you can clip that up on a wall, write it on a wall, save that. Kind of getting off topic a little bit here. But I'm telling you, I've got so much pent up aggression because of this shit, man. I'm out here trying to talk about Pacquiao and Spence, and I can't even get to it. I can't, because every time I make a plan to do it, some bullshit pops up with Tyson Fury. Rodney Potter, I'm rocking with the channel, just subscribed. Big appreciation. Thank you, Rodney. If you took time out of your day today to stop by and enjoyed what you heard and then subscribed, well, I got big love for you, brother. Thank you. WJ Luckett, they scream, get over what we did 200 years ago, quote unquote, because they would sound extremely stupid if they said, get over what we're doing to you now. That's why I highlighted that comment. WJ coming with that power. Trick boxing, trolls talk in the blind, never facts. A lot of it is just blah, blah, blah. Just blank words, have no meaning, hold no weight. XTC vibes. Do you think Tyson Fury would rather retire than to fight Deontay at this point? First arbitration, now COVID, yet his teammate was at the Conor McGregor fight. So I'm guessing XTC, you just jumped in, which is cool. And to answer your question, do you think Tyson Fury would rather retire? I think it's on the table. I honestly do think that it is on the table, and it's a very high possibility that he may retire, vacate the belt, and try to weasel his way. Because, let's be honest here, man. He never wanted to fight. And there's a reason why he was trying to pay Wilder to not fight and run to the Middle East to fight Joshua. You can see the disappointment in his face when he had to do an about face and, answer to the judge and fulfill his contract agreement, which is the third fight. And he's kind of moaning and groaning about having to do it. Oh, it's a bit disappointing that we got to do this fight, but that's what the judge said. Which then leads me to ask, you make it sound as if this fight's so easy, Fury. And if that's the case, you should be having a conversation with your doctor asking, okay, I got COVID, so when can I be back? I need to be back ASAP because I got to get this fight out of the way because Wilder ain't shit. Nitty G, salute. Welcome back. I was waiting for you to drop in, bro. Frank Sapardi, the Patreon is under my name. As a matter of fact, if you're curious, I mean, it's like 90% done. So I'll go ahead and drop a link. I'll go ahead and drop a link here in the chat. You guys can drop by and take a look. There it is. There's the Patreon. Go in there and take a look and just see the different tiers. I got 3 different tiers up there that you can choose from. And it's all listed out on the type of benefits that you'll get by becoming a Patreon. And as I said earlier, it's all about talking about exclusive topics that I wouldn't normally talk about on this channel just because, it's YouTube. I try to keep it boxing. But I am a man of many experiences. And I like to share those experiences with people because that's how I have progressed in life, is by listening to people and their experiences instead of just being stuck in my little box and thinking life is all about butterflies and rainbows, but it's actually dark and stormy. So we got to be prepared. We got to wear our rain jacket, get our umbrella, put our boots on, and get ready to face life. You know what I'm saying? Mohead, Joseph Parker knew he was caught at the UFC fight. Yeah, I heard about that. I heard he ducked and hightailed it out of there, trying to avoid the cameras. Hey, Boogie, how about the biggest fight in UK boxing history had to take place in Saudi? He gave up his license because he popped positive. Yeah. And I think if I'm not mistaken, he's popped at least 2 times, maybe 3. And there's a lot of speculation on I think he popped, was it before or after the Klitschko fight? But they couldn't really make they couldn't give the fans or the media for that matter a clear answer. They tried to make it about what did they do? They stripped his title because he didn't defend the title. But then there was rumors that he actually popped positive for a PED. We'll never know. We'll never know the truth. So those of you who are a part of the live stream right now and you're just joining and you haven't commented yet, I try to read all the comments that I possibly can. But I just want to say thanks for joining. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to come on here and listen to the topic. So I just pinned the Patreon at the top so it doesn't get lost here in the chat. The link's there. Click on it and take a look. Frank signed up. Glad to support boxing analysis. Thanks a lot, Frank. Thanks a whole lot. This is what really motivates me. Every time you guys come on here and get into the comment section and the chat live, and for me it's a breath of fresh air. It's barbershop, it's barbecue, men talking about life, talking about boxing. That's what it's all about. Sometimes us men, we got to stick together, you know what I mean? I'll just put it like that. Trick Boxing says, I'm still wondering who got COVID in the camp. I'm wondering too. And that's all a part of the whole fantasy of not being clear with the details. Fury tested positive for COVID and many others in his team. Thanks for the thorough information. XTC, still in the chat, still in the live stream. I appreciate you. Is it fair to say Tyson is way more delusional than what he made Wilder to be? Well, I got to give him credit for one thing. He is a master manipulator. He is a master pathological liar. And he knows how to sell a fight. He knows how to sell himself. And a lot of that has to be with that kind of that gritty kind of gypsy background. And and I just want to put this out there. Gypsies and those who live on the streets and do bare knuckle boxing. I mean, if you really want to know about it, a lot of you guys may already know, but there are plenty of series out there on YouTube. I think there may even be something on Netflix of these gypsy people in the UK, doing underground bare knuckle fights and stuff like that. And Tyson Fury and his family and the people around him, they are. I mean, there's no doubt about that. They are cut from that cloth. They are gypsies. And when Tyson Fury says, I'm a fighting man, that is true. Unfortunately, this isn't underground bare knuckle boxing where it's, where you can just, bash each other's face in and get a couple $100, and have this bravado and ego. And this is professional boxing. You got to conduct yourself a certain way and appreciate and respect the sport. Frank Sparty, thanks for clarifying. So he popped after the Klitschko, but he retired to squash it with a bogus excuse about boar meat. That's what it was. Thanks for that, Frank. So if you guys didn't know, Frank just cleared it up, and I've just highlighted the comment. C. Wood, I'm here as a new subscriber, enjoying the content thus far. I'm going to stay around. Big appreciation, big respect, C. Wood. Thanks for taking the time out of your day. When he came out of retirement, he couldn't get a UK license because the boar meat guy says that's what it was. So he because he ate boar meat, he inadvertently popped for some PED because the boar meat is just so rich and so good. It made him stronger. It made him a big, strong man. Prince Cobb says, well, as a man, we know he has no integrity, but worse than that, he didn't even pay the farmer that he bribed to sell everybody that he sold him tainted boar meat. I mean, it's just pathetic, man. A picture speaks a lot of words, but Fury fans will look at a picture or video and still say it's not true. I must say, guys, if you're just joining the live stream and you don't know who Trick Boxing is, he's basically, I would imagine Trick can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think he's one of my original subscribers here on the channel. He's always been a part of the live streams, and Trick has always been an advocate of the photos that surfaced about the gloves And I respect Trick's dedication to continue to drill that home for those people who continue to think that those photos are or were not real. Real quick question for the audience. If you guys can give me, if you're in the comment section right now, if you guys can give me a quick little roll call of some boxing channels here on YouTube that you think that I should collaborate with and talk about boxing. Just leave some names. I may or may not know them. I did hibernate for about 6 or 7 years from my original channel, so I'm guessing there may be some new channels that I may not know about. But just drop some names here in the live chat, so I can look into it. All right, so Expert Genius says Drew Titan, XTC Vibes, Boxing Ego. I know Boxing Ego. He's been around for a long time. Although I don't think he'll collaborate with me. I don't know. I'll hit him up. Champ Side 1, Blue Blood. I know Blue Blood. Boxing Ego. Someone already said that. Boxing X-Ray, 78 Sports. I know 78 Sports for a long time. 78 knows who I am. 78 definitely knows who I am. Me, 78 Blood Boxing. A few others were like the original OGs in the YTBC. The Boxing Voice as well. Yeah, he's another one. He probably even came before me. Boxing Voice is like, if this is the same person that I'm thinking it is, he came in around like 2007, 6 or 7. Like early days of YouTube. If it's the same guy I'm thinking about. Tay Jones, Fred from Barbershop. I haven't heard that one. Interesting. Okay. Showbiz. Pac-Man _ alternate Tay Jones. I like that. I'm going to have to hit that up. Oh, okay. Pac MANATL _ Tay. XTC Vibes says, I watch a lot of boxing channels, but yours is criminally underrated. I appreciate that, man. I really do. I know I say that all the time here on the live stream. I appreciate and I respect big love and things like that, but I mean it from the heart. I really do. I'm trying to get the word out there. I'm trying to grow the channel. I'm trying to bring as much realism as I possibly can to boxing and to life in general. I practice what I preach often on the mic, and it's people like you, XTC Vibes, that will help continue to grow the conversation and the channel. And I can't do it without your guys' help. So I appreciate you. Tay Jones got the inside info. He's a part of Wilder's camp. And Jaron Davis, I think 78 has got connections with Wilder as well. And I must say, 78 has grown exponentially over the years. I remember back in the day when 78 only had 500-600 subscribers, and he's really taken off, and I'm really proud of him. And if you guys speak to him before I do, just let him know that really, really, really proud of how much he's grown and how he's continued to not only talk about boxing, but to continue to educate, the men out there. You know what I mean? So I know what he represents. Like I said, 78 go back for a long time. And yeah, I gotta try to catch his attention. He's a busy man nowadays. 78. Tom Etheridge, showbiz is a clown. Don't associate yourself with fuckboys. So we're already clashing with different opinions here, I see. Boxing Voice, Nestor Gibbs is pretty much a DZN propaganda channel these days. Militant to artist, real talk. I appreciate that. Are you new to the channel? I'm not sure if I've recognized your name before. I'm usually pretty good with names and faces. SM, hit the like button. Thank you. Please, guys, hit that like button. Smash it. Leave these comments. Share it if you can. If you guys got friends here on YouTube, or if you got friends on your social media platforms that also like boxing or just like to listen to some real shit, hit that share button. That helps. That helps grow the message, helps grow the channel. Nitty G says, thank you. I'm an LDBC member, and I will definitely let the general know you said this. Appreciate that, Nitty G. Appreciate that, bro. I've left a few comments on his videos. I've never been able to catch his live stream. And another thing, man, that irritates me, because I'm overseas, right? I can't do the super chat. As in, I can't send money to people. That really irritates me because where I'm at, it's unavailable. So I was hoping to catch him that way. But yeah, I appreciate that, Nitty. Caswell Clark, keep it up, man. I just subscribed, but I've been watching you, and I appreciate your unbiased support in boxing. It's much needed. Thanks, bro. Thanks for just subscribing, man. Trick boxing, I will personally tell a few folks. Thanks. I mean, it's the power of numbers. You know what I mean? It's the power of the masses, the power of the people. And the more people that we can bring together, the better. Because, we need a defense mechanism for these fucking trolls out here and these racists and these bigot-ass people trying to continue to pour and spill in negativity constantly. So I think I have extended the conversation of Tyson Fury to the maximum. And my whole thing was, I told you guys that he's going to come out with some type of statement at some point, and this is what we get. If you guys are just joining, because I see I've been on for a while now, more than an hour. We've got almost 50 people in here. So if you guys haven't heard of the article yet, I'll go through it one more time quickly, because I know a lot of guys have been here since the beginning of the live stream. Sky Sports released an article saying Tyson Fury must endure a very frustrating wait for trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder, which is set to be rescheduled. Here we go. In October. And, I told you guys that that's what they're going to be pushing for, is an October date. Just to kite through this really quick for those of you just joining and me who may have not heard this before. According to Frank Warren, who is the for Fury, he's the one who made this quote saying that Fury is frustrated because he's been off like it's anybody else's fault except for his own. He says it right here. It's looking sometime in October, which is a great shame. It's been postponed. Here it comes. Are you ready? But it is what it is. Thanks for that, Warren. I appreciate it. Appreciate it, buddy. Thanks for all the support. Thanks for caring about boxing fans, Warren. Being a fucking spokesperson for Fury, because Fury ain't got no fucking balls to speak for himself. So, there you have it. Proof is in the pudding, man. Proof is in the pudding. I just brought out the article. It's right there. The link is also in the description of this video, and you can click on it and read through its entirety. I can only stomach bits and pieces of it. What's this? I didn't see this earlier. Looks like a Twitter post from Sky Sports Boxing, who I don't follow. Excuse me, because well, they're biased towards UK fans. I mean, what else can I say? I've always tried to be the solution since the start of my career. I'll fight anyone. Oh, shit. Sorry about that. Dillian White calls for WBC to order Deontay Wilder to face him in a world title fight instead of Tyson Fury. Huh. So Dillian White is trying to get in the ring. I can't blame him. If I was him, I'd probably do the same. But when I talked about this, my last live stream a couple days ago, about 90% of the people in the chat said, nah, Wilder needs to continue to rope in and haunt Fury's dreams, become a literal nightmare until he gets the fight that he has truly deserved. Black Superman, got yourself a new subscriber. Big appreciation. Big thanks. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to stop by and listen to this live stream. Really, really do appreciate it. XTC still in the live stream. My man's got stamina. He's got endurance. He loves boxing. In my opinion, Tyson is going to spend time training properly for Wilder because he just isn't ready. Shake my head. He even got beat up in sparring. Now that is one of the most entertaining facts that have recently filtered through the media, the fact that he's been getting beat up in sparring. Now, if that's not the one and only indication that you need, then I don't know what to say. Everything else to the side. COVID and all this other bullshit, that's the one for me. Getting beat up in sparring. Straight up and down. And I heard not only getting beat up, I heard he got knocked out. Can somebody confirm that? If you're in the live stream right now, you're in the chat, can somebody confirm that? I heard he got knocked down in sparring. Vance Edwards, Blue Blood, Champ Side, Divine Sins Reborn, my big three, we undefeated. Real talk, bro. Real talk. I like Blue Blood, man. I like Blue Blood, man. He's got some good content. I haven't heard of Champ Side yet. I will check him out, though. Frank Sparty said, I heard October 9 is the date, but it's still just a rumor. I mean, I've said it 1,000 times. They're going to push for October until the river runs dry, because that's what benefits them the most. They're going to try and play this COVID thing as long as they possibly can. And you know what's going to happen is if the media, you know, people like Boxing Ego, people like the Boxing Voice, people like Deontay's Boxing Nation, you know, decently sized channels, even like ES News, who's been around forever, who a lot of times just irritates me, but he's been around for a long time. I give him that respect. But you get these type of channels. They can continue to come together and voice the frustration. It's gonna get out there. I guarantee you guys this. It's gonna get to ESPN. It's gonna get to the big networks. And what's gonna happen is they're gonna feel the pressure, and then they're gonna come out and say, hey guys, listen. Fury's got COVID. He's got inflammation in his lungs. He can't breathe. He's got night sweats. Okay, COVID has hurt him really badly. This is why the fight needs to be in October, because this is how bad it is. Now, this is what they're going to say, but they're not going to prove it. Who wants to bet? I'll put a bet on that shit right now. I got a big 50 on it. A big $50 bill right now. White never faced Ortiz for the mandatory when he had the chance. A lot of people ducked Ortiz. And that's why when Fury fans go around saying, oh, Wilder didn't fight nobody. Well, let me redo that. Well, Wilder didn't fight anybody yet, mate. Fucking hell, why don't you know anything about boxing? Yeah? Wilder hasn't fought nobody. Okay? Fury has fought every single fucking fighter out there. I'm sorry, God. I had to do it. I had to do it. I had to do it. It's Frank's fault. You gotta blame Frank. Frank's been putting this stuff out there all morning, all afternoon. I had to do it. Jared Anderson dropped him. That's what it is. Thank you, Rodney. I knew you knew something, Rodney. I see you lurking in the chat. Rodney knows what's up. That's who it was, Jared Anderson. I couldn't fucking remember his name for the life of me. Right here. Yep. And, the expert genius just doubled down on that. He got KO'd on his feet by Jared Anderson. My boy Jared. Where my boy Jared at? Somebody called Jared and tell him to join Divine Sense Reborn Boxing Podcast. Another clarification from BWTM Sports and Gaming. He got knocked out standing up against the ropes. Oh, you trying to do that rope-a-dope? How many times we got to tell you, Fury, you're not Muhammad Ali? Champ side is a real one. Make sure you press 1. Oh, I'm hitting him up for sure. 100%. Fury is a liability. I just don't understand how these people back him. Shake my head. Caswell Clark. Got the laughing emojis coming in. I'm guessing from my poor attempt of a British accent. I think it was mixed a little bit of an Aussie and British. Maybe a little bit of South African in there. I don't know, man. I've been around the world. I pick up all kinds of shit. For real though. And that's the thing about England. Like I mentioned earlier, I played professional indoor, right? So a lot of my teammates are from England. A lot of Brazilians, a lot of English. And England, they got like 20 different accents in the country, like literally. Someone from London with a Cockney accent sounds completely different from someone from Manchester or Liverpool or Newcastle. And you just pick up all different kinds of slang and different accents. Black Star Sports was good. Followed you on Twitter trying to pass the link, fam. Yeah. So Black Star Sports, I've already messaged you on Twitter. So just hit me back and we'll make something happen. Jared Anderson unfollowed Fury on IG. Who's this guy, Expert Genius, with all this information? Expert Genius. See, my boy pays attention. I like people like the Expert Genius. They pay attention to detail. You see? That's why they can't fuck with us out here. That's why these trolls and these haters and these racists, they can't fuck with us out here. We got boys like Expert Genius out here that got his facts lined up. Got his ducks lined up in a row. Militant, the artist. What's good, man? Read through the lines. This is a get out of being knocked out and exposed tactic by Tyson Fury and company. They say what happens in sparring stays in sparring, but unfortunately, it got leaked. You guys remember back in the day, if you're an old head like me, and you remember back in the day when Tyson Fury, I need to stop saying his name, the other Tyson, Mike Tyson, back in the day when Mike Tyson, I think he was preparing for, it may have been Lennox Lewis, I'm not sure, but he got knocked out in sparring. Mike Tyson got knocked out in sparring, and it leaked through. A lot of people were talking about it, and this reminds me of that with Tyson Fury. Except, guess what? To all the credit possible to Mike Tyson, at least he still fought. Mic drop. What's good, DR? Just checking in. Danny Webb. Been waiting for you to drop by, bro. Thanks for coming by. Hope you've enjoyed what you've heard so far. Moped. You find out a lot of info from Tay Jones. He spills tea respectfully, too. Okay. Tay Jones. This is just a bit tough for me, man. I'm usually the when you're on YouTube and you're in this type of business, you try to get in the cart before the horse, for lack of better word. Try to get ahead of the game, right? Be the first one out there with information. But for me, the horse is always on the cart first because of where I'm located around the world. So it's all good though. It's all good because I let these guys get that information out, and I just come out here and speak about it. Easy. Trick Boxing says that was weird, him doing that statement made in a sense. Yeah. Tay Jones is Wilder's right-hand man. Okay, that makes more sense. Monopoly in Music says, turn your supercharger on so we can donate, brother. Super chat. Yeah, I was just saying earlier that unfortunately I can't use super chat because of my location. I've already tried. As a matter of fact, I went to 78 Sports TV. I was going to do a little super chat to try to catch his attention, and I wasn't able to use it. So I've set up the Patreon. I've pinned the link at the top of the chat. I think it's still there. It should be there. And that's where I'll continue to connect with people who want to support the channel and the show. And you guys can reap some benefits as well while you're at it. So you're putting your hard-earned money into something that you support and also getting something back in return. So that's also cool. But once I do get back into the States, I'm going to try to figure out a way to get the super chat going as well, because I do like the concept. I think that it'll help the broadcast a lot. CTC vibes. Yeah, I'm glad you asked this. How do you see the Anthony Joshua Deontay Wilder fight going down? I'm glad you said that instead of Fury and Joshua. So before I answer that question, that's how I saw it going down. In a perfect world, right? Wilder and Tyson fight, the third fight. Wilder knocks his ass out in convincing fashion, reclaims the title. Then it's a Wilder-Joshua showdown. That's what it should have been. How do I see it going down? Oh, that's a good question, man. You know, they're both athletic. And if you would have asked me this question before Anthony Joshua lost to Ruiz, it'd be a much different conversation. But that fight showed me a lot of AJ. What it showed me, it wasn't so much that he lacks in skill, but he displays a little bit of complacency. And I'm not sure if it's overconfidence, and maybe it was just Ruiz. Maybe it was just that fight. But I've seen it in other fights as well where he gets a bit complacent. He may be doing something well, and he sometimes makes silly mistakes. We all know he can't do that against Wilder, right? We know that. So I think if he fights Wilder, he'll take it seriously. And Joshua does have a very good boxing pedigree. And I think he has more punching power than Fury does. And that's what makes him dangerous. But he's also not the size of Fury either. So he doesn't have the range. He doesn't have the reach. He doesn't have that long flicking jab that Fury has. So it's a very interesting fight. I still think, though, however, that Wilder's relentlessness, determination, and power will seize the day. But I think it'll be a good fight. A very respectful fight between two men. I mean, Joshua does things that kind of bend me sideways sometimes, the things that he says and does. But I do give him a bit more credibility than Fury. That's for sure. Caswell Clark, yeah, man, you have a good content. You should be getting paid. I appreciate that, man. I'm trying out here, man. I've literally spent the past probably week. I didn't expect for my channel to explode this quickly, to be quite honest with you. But I've spent the whole week trying to figure out how I can engage more, get the followers and subscribers engaged more, and to figure out a way to generate a little bit of income, because for me, income is not money in my pocket. For me, income is something that continues to motivate me to come on here and continue to chop it up with you guys. So that's the way I look at it. But it's been difficult, unfortunately, with the way YouTube conducts itself. So I'm trying to figure out other ways. I looked at the Cash App as well, and Cash App is also unavailable where I'm at. So challenging, very challenging. But I've got Patreon, and I just got to ride that wave for as long as I can and try to make as much use out of it as I can. Eric Howell. Eric Howell. So I'm so confident in Wilder. I was going to put 10K on Wilder. God damn, let me highlight that comment. 10K. Your boy Eric was going to put 10K on this fight. Damn. That's that big talk money. That's that big confidence money right there. I'm not sure if I've seen you in the live streams before, Eric. So if you're new, hopefully you've subscribed. And it's good to see you and have you in the conversation. Caswell, Clark, Steve. Yeah, collab. I mean, yeah, that's why I mentioned it. That's why I asked you guys to leave some names in the chat so I can just, start engaging with people. But really, the message is in the power of the people. You know what I mean? Right now, my channel's still relatively new. And a lot of these channels, they're big hitters. They got 10, 15, 20, 30,000 K, subscribers. So I don't know if they'll look at me as, somebody that hasn't warranted the accolades yet, or to step up to the booth. I'm not sure. But that's why the power is in the people, and the people speak and say, yo, we got to get this guy on here and get some conversations popping. Expert Genius still typing away in the live chat, bringing in that information. AJ said after the Klitschko fight, he can't go through another war like that. It happened again against Ruiz. He's not the same. But they talk about Wilder mentally. Yeah, I mean, I think in general, the Ruiz and Joshua fight, the first one, shocked a lot of people. I mean, I didn't talk about the fight in public, but I mean, of course, I had Joshua win in the fight, and that was my own ignorance of Ruiz, to be honest with you. And this Mexican boxer, man, he came out and impressed me. I was like, okay, don't judge a book by its cover. Ruiz. Órale, cabrón. And it really opened my eyes to Joshua quite a lot. I'm like, damn. And I think to your point, expert, a lot of that, it was some mental shit going on with Joshua. Trick Boxing on that note says, I see Joshua going to sleep, gets hit easy, too much for. I see Joshua going to sleep, gets hit easy, too much for Wilder, will land the right. Wilder is Joshua's height and all. I just don't see him beating Wilder. Yeah. I mean, Joshua has, as I mentioned, the boxing pedigree. He has power. He can hurt you. But yeah, I think power, relentlessness, determination, length as well that Wilder has will carry the day. Black Superman says, do you think Wilder haters would still call him a bum if he beat Fury and AJ? Maybe in their mind. They wouldn't dare to do it in public. Right now, they can attempt to fool people because, unfortunately, Wilder had a very disappointing and uneventful night the second time he fought Fury. And we all know why that happened. But I'm just saying, in the casual boxing fan's eyes, that's what it is, right? So since Wilder's taken that loss, it's unfortunately a dark shadow over him and over his career. And that's why it's so important to cast away that shadow and get him back in the ring so he can get his revenge. Caswell Clark says, oh yeah, hit up Drew Titan. Yeah. Yeah, I think a few people mentioned that. So, okay, that's another one. I'm writing it down right now. Drew Titan. Appreciate that. Anthony, new subscriber, outstanding content. I appreciate that. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for taking the time out of your day, Anthony. I'm not sure what caught your attention. Maybe it was the thumbnail. But yeah, we've been talking about this Fury situation an hour and a half now. But I appreciate your subscription. It means a lot. All right, the expert genius continues on. A hungry Ruiz beats AJ 10 out of 10 times. I told people that. I didn't factor in Ruiz would go Hollywood after beating AJ. And the fact AJ couldn't hurt him. He didn't take it seriously. Shake my damn head. Yeah, but I'm not mad at Ruiz for that. For me personally, I'm not mad at him. He shocked the world. He won a heavyweight title. Yeah, it would have been nice that he would have, taken it seriously. But it happens, man. It happens. But I think he'll bounce back. It's a bit tough right now, man, with COVID and the way things are going. I hate to say it. I feel like we've been saying this shit for a year and a half, almost 2 fucking years now. Oh, because of COVID, we can't do this, that, or whatever. I'm so over it. But unfortunately, that's the reality of the situation. And the heavyweight division is kind of a mess anyway right now. And a lot of it just seems to be hung up on this Fury Wilder situation. And this is why I stress this point so much of how much boxing is being fucked over by one man. How is that possible? How is one man fucking up the whole entire division? Black Star. All right, bro. I'm going to hit up Twitter as soon as I get off this live. I'll respond to you, and we're definitely going to make it happen. So on that thought, if you guys don't know Black Star Sports TV 2.0, he also got a channel. He likes to talk about boxing. He's one of the first guys that I kind of jumped over and checked out his channel. So him and I plan to do a collaboration, and that's a good way to kind of get the ball rolling. Hopefully we can get connected with some bigger channels out here that you guys mentioned and continue to grow the channel. Militant says revenge is so sweet when it's truly deserved. Absolutely. Very sweet. XTC vibes still here. I think the worst thing about the Wilder ordeal was that the media outlets like ESPN failed to show the Glovegate scandal, and people like Stephen A. made Wilder look crazy. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Now, I know that people like 78 and I think Blue Boxing and a few others have talked specifically about Stephen A. Smith. What's your guys' thoughts about Stephen A? Do you guys think that, he's just a guy, behind a desk just doing things because he's being told to do things? Or do you really think that he has an agenda? What do you guys think about Stephen A? Drop it into the comments. When it comes to COVID, just use Frank Warren's favorite line. It's the times we live in. I don't even know what to say to that, bro. I got to keep it moving. All right. Nap Artist. I discovered your channel last week. Excellent content because you just talk facts and just talk about boxing. There's only a few like Dre. Appreciate your subscription. I hope you've subscribed already. And thanks for taking the time out of your day, bro, to jump over here and check in. And I appreciate and respect every comment that goes into this chat. So back to Stephen A. Caswell Clark says, Stephen A. to me is a puppet. He doesn't even cover boxing. He's worse than a casual. Damn, shots fired. Shots fired. Black Star says, Stephen A. has an agenda for sure. Okay, I see where this is going. XTC, nobody is all up in his ear telling him to say stuff. Or sorry, somebody is all up in his ear telling him to say stuff. Oh, I mean Drew. Okay, not Dre. Drew. My bad. I thought you were making comparison to Dr. Dre or something. I'm like, all right, cool. So Drew. Okay, I got it. Makes sense now. All right. For me, I've been around this boxing stuff for a long time, obviously, and Stephen A. has been around for a long time. He has a way, of just continuing to be relevant. I think it has to do a little bit of, who he is and his personality and his character on TV. I got to be honest with you. I don't do it as much anymore, but I would say that I still listen to what he has to say at least once or twice a month, just because it's just who he is. It's like, what other dumb shit is he saying today? And I am glad though that it's no longer Skip Bayless and Stephen A, because I couldn't take that shit anymore. Skip Bayless is still Skip Bayless, and he'll always be Skip Bayless. That man too damn old to change his ways now. So I don't know why people expect it. But it's good to pair him up with someone like Shannon Sharp. This kind of keeps it a little bit more balanced. Nap Artist says, Fury ain't got no damn COVID. He's just running from the fight. He's absolutely terrified. I mean, some of you guys are coming out here straight up saying he don't got COVID. A lot of you guys are coming on here on the chat and saying, yo, he don't got COVID. I don't have any time for it. I'm not ready to jump on that train quite yet, because I made the point. A lot of you guys have already heard this, but some of you are just joining the live stream right now. For me, it's completely irrelevant whether he has COVID or not, because at the end of the day, Fury has not practiced world heavyweight champion discipline and respect for the sport. Because if he doesn't have COVID, he's lied about it, and he has slapped boxing fans in the face. And that's not what the people's champ does. That's not what a true champion does. And not only the boxing fans, but you disrespect every single heavyweight who has ever sorry, my mic's a little bit breaking up here, but he disrespects every heavyweight who has ever held that heavyweight belt. Think about all the names and all the heavyweight great champions who have held that belt. Muhammad Ali, Joe Frazier, George Foreman. Joe Louis, Rocky Marciano. The list goes on and on and on and on. That's the amount of people that he's disrespecting. And it's astonishing. So for me, it's completely irrelevant if he has COVID or not. Because if he doesn't have it, that means he's lied. And as I said, he disrespected fans and every great heavyweight that has came before him. And if he does have COVID, then in my mind, he got it on purpose. Because why the fuck would a world heavyweight champion allow himself to get COVID? Just purely undisciplined and looking for a way to get out of the fight. So again, him having COVID or not is irrelevant in my opinion. Cass Will Clark says, it's like ESPN strips you of your boxing intelligence. Just look at the ex-fighters. Even they make no sense sometimes. True. Corey D. Ron. What's good, man? Good question here. Just jumping into the stream. Need clarification. Why can't the Fury versus Wilder fight happen in September? Quite honestly and quite frankly, because Tyson and his team wants it in October. And why do they want it in October? Because it gives Fury ample time to get ready. And he needs to get ready because, as we mentioned in this live stream, you may have just joined, but we've mentioned many different points. And one of those points, and one of the big points is, in my mind, the biggest point, he's been getting knocked out in sparring. He's not in shape. He's not fit. He's not ready to go into the gladiatorial arena against Deontay Wilder. So that's why they keep pushing the fight back as far as possible. So optimistically speaking, and hopefully speaking, we were, as boxing fans and Wilder fans, and probably even Fury fans, to be quite honest with you, wanted the fight in September. But every single time an article drops from Fury's team or from ESPN or any of these other big networks, it has always been the fight will probably be in October. So it hasn't been set. It's not set in stone yet, but that's definitely what they want. And that's why I said earlier in this live stream, if you're just joining, Deontay Wilder and his team needs to fight tooth and nail to get the fight as quickly as possible, obviously. And unfortunately, the quickest it'll probably be is September. Another reason is I think there may be another fight that they're trying to avoid. I'm pretty sure Pacquiao and Spence is in August, so that shouldn't be a problem. But yeah, I think that at the end of the day, Wilder Wilder and Wilder's team just needs to fight as hard as they can to get the fight as soon as they possibly can. And if Fury and his team are able to slither their way and get their way to get it in October, then Wilder needs to sue Tyson Fury, because enough is enough. Philip Belgrave, sat in East London. So glad to catch this live. Yo, Philip, do you got me on speaker? If you do, that's epic. Turn it up loud and clear. Vance Edwards, still in the chat. Why hasn't his camp come out with an official statement? Where is Top Rank on this and a viable plan? Yeah, man, I've been beating that drum for the past 3 days. And I told everybody here, because, a lot of people have accused me of being a Fury hater. The comment section on the video that I posted called the 10 reasons why Wilder will win the fight, and even a video before that where I said, I think the title of the video was Wilder will smash Fury. The hate was in abundance by the UK fans and the Fury fans. And I, in my mind, I'm just making a video about who I think is going to win the fight. But I've always said, I'm as transparent as the ocean water itself. And if Fury and his team, it should be Fury to be fair, it should be coming directly from his social media platforms. But Fury and his team, if they would at least have the audacity and the courage to come out and say, hey, we got COVID. It wasn't expected. It was an accident. We didn't plan for it to happen, but it did. But we are making every single effort to get the fight back underway as soon as possible. I've got 1 vaccine. I've got 2 vaccine. Let the fucking people know the truth. Then, as a forgiveful person that I am, I tend to forgive people for their mistakes. I would have said, okay, still irritating, still disappointing, but at least you have the courage to come out and let us know what the hell's going on. But this is why the trolls are slowly starting to disappear and vanish, because they can't defend this man anymore. You get COVID-19 2 weeks before the fight. This is how much your man, if you're a Fury supporter listening to this live stream, this is how much your boy Tyson Fury, the Gypsy King, respects you as a fan. This man that you're willing to go to war with, you're willing to. A lot of you are willing to die for this man, it seems. But this is how he treats you. This is how much he respects you. He doesn't even have the audacity to come out and give a little bit of clarity on the situation. All we get, okay, here we go for like the 3rd time. All we get is a little basic article here from Sky Sports. This is all we get. This is the only type of clarity that we get. Tyson Fury must endure a very frustrating wait for trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder, which is set to be rescheduled in October. So this is proof right here to answer people's questions. This is what they're pushing for. This is Sky Sports right here. Due to a COVID-19 outbreak in Fury's training camp, there's been a postponement of the trilogy fight. But we already know this. We stop telling us what we already know. Tell us something we don't know. Why has it pushed the date to October? So there you go. There you go. Philip, what's good? I do, bro. We love you in the GB. I'm actually quite surprised because the amount of hate that I got from Fury fans and UK fans on my channel. I thought for a moment the entire country hated me. As a matter of fact, I was literally getting comments in the comment section saying that one guy said, look at this idiot, this self-hating white man going for a black man. He hates his own kind so much that he's up here talking rubbish and supporting Wilder. I mean, those were the type of comments that I was getting. So that's why I thought damn, that's the sentiment. Oh, because I'm white, I got to go for Fury. Is that how you guys operate? I'm confused here. I thought you guys are going for Fury because that's your countryman. You want to support your countrymen. I mean, I'm just confused. Then I told a guy, I replied a comment and I said, look, man, you think I'm talking rubbish? I'm just speaking from the heart about who I think is going to win the fight. Why are you even looking at color? I'm looking at these two men. MEN. Don't try to plant this negative ass seed in my fucking head. I don't know where you've been or who you've been talking to or where you have exposed yourself to be tainted so badly that you're now trying to extort me. Get the fuck off my channel. So, those were the type of comments that I was getting. And I told him, I said, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt because you're popping out of nowhere and just talking out of your ass. But if you must bring up race, then obviously you don't know my channel. And now I understand a lot of people don't know my original channel. This is a recreation, hence the name Divine Sense Reborn. But I've got favorite fighters of all different shapes, sizes, colors, creed, you name it. Because I look at them as men. Rather, I like their style. I like their determination. I like how they conduct themselves in and out of the ring, whatever the case may be. We all have our different tastes and why we like certain boxers. And I told him my favorite middleweight, believe it or not, is David Lemieux, who happens to be white. Well, he's a little bit of Lebanese, but more or less white. And he's my favorite middleweight. And I ride to die with David Lemieux, even though he was getting his ass beat by Triple G and a few others. And that's the thing. This is what I tell people all the time. Check this. When David Lemieux knocked out Curtis Stevens, I went on and I said, David Lemieux just knocked Curtis Stevens the fuck out. Because that's what happened. And he happens to be one of my favorite fighters in the middleweight division. So I was happy. I was pleased. And did I get any hate in the comment section from black YouTube channels who are in the YTBC saying, "Oh, you're only going for Lemieux because he beat a black man"? No, they said, "Yeah, you're right. Curtis Stevens got knocked the fuck out." That's what I'm saying. But I have a whole trilogy to talk about, my own trilogy within itself, talking about my encounters within my own race. I can literally write a book about it. And that's why you got to become a Patreon, because that's where I'm going to release a lot of this exclusive topics. Make sure you become a Patreon, because I can't post that type of stuff on here. But real talk. And once again, the proof is in the pudding, man. I literally can't make this shit up. These were the type of comments that I was getting on my channel from UK white fans. See, you got me riled up again, Philip. You got me all riled up again. I was calm for a little bit. Okay, I've been live streaming almost 2 hours now. But I think I'm doing pretty good. I'm doing pretty good for 2 hours. Okay, just got to shake that off. XTC, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate you, bro. Look at it. So many languages in the world, and you decided to speak FACTS in caps. I don't do it to intrigue. I do it because it appeases the truth. Hey, write that down. Philip goes on to say, the real UK people know your videos are always fair and non-biased. Appreciate that. I got no problem with the UK. You know, I played alongside them at high levels in indoor soccer, you know, and a lot of them, there are a lot of good people from the UK. But there's also a lot of, how do I put it, dumbasses. Ignorant Boxing. Sorry I didn't catch you when you first came on here. I'm not sure if you subscribe to the channel or not. I don't recognize your name, I don't think, off the top of my head. But if you are subscribed, I appreciate you. Thanks for dropping by. Thanks for taking the time out of your day to come and join the conversation. Militant says, you tell them misfits, bro. Sad. Chris Wills says, sad but true. A lot of people look at color since the first fight, and that's why when one person cheats, it's clear, but they support still. Yeah, I mean, when all the drama was going on with Pacquiao using PEDs, I remember back in those days. I mean, to be fair, I don't think Pacquiao's ever failed a test. It was just speculation, but there was some decent evidence that was being brought forth. But the Pacquiao fans were going crazy, like we were insulting their mother or something. The Militant says, these white misfits act as though they are from a next planet, not Earth. We are all mankind. Yep. Knuckleheads, he said. Fury definitely jumped on that plane to get some of that good European test. Whatever happened to soaking his hands in petrol? Oh, yeah. He's got to wear gloves this time. Facts. Tom says, hey, Divine Sense, look into an app called TubeBuddy. It will help grow your channel. All right, bro. Writing that down. I appreciate that. See, power in numbers, power in the people. Still here, guys. Just writing down a little bit of information. All right, we'll see what this guy has to say. To be honest, Wilder started the WHE racial sentiments when he accused Fury of being favor as white privilege. We must discourage this act in boxing. I get your point. I mean, I get your point, but at the same time, I must say that the lead up to the fight, was it the first fight? Was it the first fight when they had the face off? and they were going back and forth about whose God was better, and Tyson was going on about Jesus Christ, and then Wilder was going off about some other gods from his, what was it, like Nigerian background or something. Anyways, both of these men, to be fair, have a lot of fucking ego, a lot of bravado. They both consider themselves as alpha males. All right. All kinds of crazy shit were coming out of both of their mouths. Unfortunately, though, however, it's been shown that Fury is indeed the one that's full of fucking shit. Because here we are, and the fight is not happening because of Fury. Got to clear that. We'll see what Tom's got to say. To be clear, Wilder said the media ignores the crap Fury does, which is white privilege that Fury receives. Oh, boy. For me, it's pretty clear cut. It's pretty clear cut. Wilder gets a lot of hate, and Fury doesn't. When it's clear as day that Fury is fucking over boxing fans. You don't have to be a Wilder fan to fuck over boxing fans. And that's what Fury's doing. So that's just what it is. And this guy does my head in. You know, when I first started watching Fury, you know, the whole Klitschko, and really, I mean, I watched that fight, obviously, and I knew about him before that. But when I really actually started listening to him is when this whole trilogy started. And I won't lie to you. His bravado and his character and his personality, you know, he can sell a fight. He can sell himself. I can see how he can get people to believe in his antics. Right? And that's a skill. 100% that's a skill. And for what it was worth, it was entertaining. I didn't really stress about it because I felt that at the end of the day, he's got to face Wilder in the ring. And that's why it makes sense to me why Wilder chose to just be silent in the third fight press conference. Because I mean, think about all the shit they talked, man. And so many times Wilder was displayed in the media as being someone who says the wrong things. And as I mentioned earlier, how much hate did he get for till this day? People got so upset at that. But my question for you is, what if it was Tyson Fury speaking on behalf of gypsies or underprivileged white people in the UK, and he said, till this day? Would he get criticized the same way that Wilder was criticized? I'm just asking a question. I'm asking a question. Coach Chris says there's always some lost ass black dude playing Justice League to save white folks from their racism. Don't be that guy. I'll just say that and leave that there. Black Star Sports TV 2.0 still in the live chat. Appreciate you. So many fans lost money trying to make it to the fight. A lot of money. A lot of money. And they got a right to be upset. Layla Ray Not sure if I said that right. I'm not sure if you're new to the channel. I don't think I've seen you in the live stream before. If you haven't subscribed, make sure you subscribe. Click the notification bell, all that good stuff that you hear all the time. Stay a part of the conversation. I'm from the UK. Fury is starting to get the hate now, and he's feeling it. He will retire now. Watch. Well, I'm glad to hear that Fury fans are starting to wake up, because it's been mostly crickets on my page when it comes to Fury fans, considering the amount of hate that I got pre-Fury getting COVID. Coach Chris is at it today, y'all. I hope you guys got your... I'm going through the comments. Hope you got your seatbelts buckled in tightly. Fury is a drug addict. He was coked up on ESPN, signing the contract. But drugs are a lie. Without the coke and steroids, he's getting his ass beat by prospects in his camp. Mic drop. Specific volume, what's good? I'm not sure if you've been a part of the conversation yet. Thanks so much for dropping by. Something must be done. That punk must be dragged to this fight. Absolutely. I said this before. If you're just joining, I feel like Wilder needs to fight to the nail to make sure that Fury doesn't run from this fight, and to make sure that it's not pushed back into October. Completely unfair for Wilder having to train so hard and live with this nightmare in his head for over a year. The time for them to fight is now, not later. I appreciate you, Specific Volume, for stopping by. Hopefully you continue to stay a part of the conversation. Caswell's back. One thing is for sure. If you hate or love Wilder or Fury, nobody likes to lose money. And lots of both lost money messing with this fight. Fury is under pressure and about to tuck his tail. I see a lot of guys saying that they feel that Wilder's probably going to vacate the belt and retire. I don't even want to think about that. D-Dub was good. Fury is scared of Wilder. Straight up and down. Yep. I'm not sure if you're new to the channel. If you are, consider liking, subscribing, and continue to be a part of the conversation. Appreciate your comment, D-Dub. Thanks for stopping by. Couple. Who's this? Boxing is like WWF in the 90s. Those are good old days. Philip's still here. So, Philip, what did he actually say wrong when he said till this day? Well, it was just portrayed. You know, I said it earlier. I went on this rant, and I'm going to try not to do it again. But people basically were saying, like, what is he saying? Like, why is he bringing up history from 200 years ago? And that was the whole idea of Wilder bringing it up, was till this day, like, we're still having to survive through injustices. Till this day. And so people twisted it and was basically making it as if, you know, Wilder just, you know, bringing up the past, which he shouldn't, and let's keep it boxing, and why is he getting so emotional about a topic that, you know, it hurts everybody's ears, I guess. But that's why I asked the question. What if it was Fury? Who said that? Would people have the same sentiment? D-Dub says, not only that it's obvious he's ducking for that, he should forfeit the title. Joshua and Wilder should fight for it. I'm okay with it, but I'm not okay with it. I have a pet peeve of cowards getting away with shit. Kind of like you can run but you can't hide type shit. And I just, yeah, man, it's just a pet peeve of mine. It's gonna scratch at my soul until I see Wilder knock his ass out, and then I'll feel satisfied. But all right, I'm good. I'm good now. They can, he can fight Joshua now. Specific volume. I've been following you for a few days now. Very good content. I will definitely stay subscribed. 100. Big appreciation. Those of you guys who are just joining, I did pin my Patreon at the top of this live chat. That's what I'm working with right now. For those of you who want to show love and support and get more exclusive content about other topics that I'm savvy about. That's where I'm conducting business right now. Unfortunately, I'm not able to use super chats in location that I'm currently in, and nor can I use Cash App. So, like I said, that's what I'm working with. And if you guys want to be a part of the support channel through Patreon, definitely appreciate you. And go through there and look through the tiers and look through what I'm willing to offer you to be a Patreon. It's quite intriguing. Trust me. Go check it out. This is going to be crazy. Furious 6'9", 280 pounds, and has to be literally sued and dragged into the ring? ? And you're a fan of this guy? ? Come on. I'm not sure who you're asking that question to, Chris, or maybe you're just asking in general. I just subscribed. Much love, bro. Much appreciation. You guys are going wild in the comment section. Hey, do what you got to do. I sincerely believe the trilogy should be terminated and Fury stripped of his belt. White to fight Wilder. Winner fights AJ. We just need to get this whole situation behind us and move on. That's a bold move. Definitely entitled to your opinion. That's why I highlighted your comment. But like I said, I've got a pet peeve. And I'm entitled to my pet peeve. And that pet peeve is I don't like cowards getting away with shit. And he's drugged Wilder's name through the mud long enough. Now, if Fury says, hey, I got COVID. I'm not really that sick. If you're not worried about it, maybe you've been vaccinated. We don't got to deal with all this boxing politics. You want to meet me back in Manchester and we can just knuckle it up? Bare knuckle, old school, winner takes all? I'd be okay with that. And I'm sure Wilder would be too. At the end of the day, Wilder just wants his revenge. So those of you who are just joining, because I continue to see more and more people coming through, I'm guessing you guys saw the thumbnail and you saw the title of the live stream. And so there was a reason why I originally came on. And I've been on here for over 2 hours. So, we end up talking about a lot of different stuff. But if you're just joining, Sky Sports just put out an article, I believe it was earlier today. You may have already heard about it, maybe not. And this is what the main title was. Tyson Fury must endure a very frustrating, in quotes, wait for trilogy fight with Deontay Wilder, which is set to be rescheduled in October. So this is proof, y'all, right here, that they're trying to push the fight to October. And it goes on with this crybaby shit. Really frustrating for Tyson. By the time he gets into the ring, he will have been out for nearly 20 months. like it's anybody's fault except himself. Promoter Frank Warren reflects on the postponement of Tyson Fury's third fight against Deontay Wilder. Now, look, at the end of the day, man, Sky Sports it's pro UK fighters, whatever. This article is a poor attempt to make any clarity of the situation. I would have much rather read something that gives us more detail and clarification. But like Warren says right here, is what it is. Thanks for that, Warren. Appreciate that. Look, Wilder he's smiling here with this big ass cross, shirtless, hat turned backwards, trying to display confidence. And Wilder with that 1,000-yard stare, eyes burning like the fires of the phoenix. So, I mean, there it is. If you're just joining, real article of Tyson saying that he's frustrated. Really? You're frustrated? Oh, okay. Yeah. We forgot about Wilder having to wait more than a year for this fight. It took a point all the way to where it has to go to a judge in order for the fight to happen. But you're frustrated, right? Oh, because you couldn't go to Saudi and get your big payday and avoid the fight? D-Dub says, for Wilder, isn't about the belt. It's personal. Yep, that's what I'm saying. At this point, Wilder will fight on the beach, at a barbecue, after a church service. Wilder don't give a fuck, trust me. He's got to get these nightmares out of his head. And if I were him, I would too. Layla continues on saying, we want Fury to get KO'd by Wilder before Wilder fights White or AJ. Of course. I mean, that's what was supposed to happen here in like 10 days, 11 days. Jay says, after Wilder KOs Fury, he can retire and do what he wants. But until then, I don't care at all about undisputed. AJ and Wilder can fight for that after he gets Sophia back. Fury is a coward. He's afraid, and he will be KO'd. Straight to the point. I appreciate that. Man, what a live stream today. Very successful and entertaining live stream today. I usually try to be calm, cool, and collected and as intellectual as possible, but I did get a bit wild up today. I did let my emotions run a little bit wild today, but sometimes things just need to be said. But I'm probably going to stretch this out another 10 minutes or so. I'm going to pack it in. I don't know if I'm going to put this on the channel. We'll see. A lot of good content, though. We talked about a lot of good stuff, had a lot of good energy in this stream today. So I might keep it up. Militant continues to show that respect. I appreciate you. You're one of the realest. Keep talking the truth. That's one thing that you'll always know when you come to my channel. It's always going to be the truth and from the heart. You may not always agree with me. We may butt heads from time to time. But even family butt heads. But as long as you keep it real and talk the truth, then we can move forward amicably and continue to grow the sport of boxing in a positive light and continue to improve ourselves. And, sometimes reflection is the best attribute in life. Interesting question here before I go, as I'm winding down here the last 8 minutes of the show. Is it fair to include Wilder in heavyweight boxing Hall of Fame? That's a tough one. It really depends on how the history books are written. I think that he probably would, but I don't know if it's necessarily a guarantee right now, and that's not his fault. If Fury figures out a way to snake his way out of this fight, it may or may not matter. The history books may say that, the fight almost happened, but Fury got COVID and Fury retired. So they never had a chance to complete the trilogy. And that's convenient for Fury and completely inconvenient for Wilder, because Wilder has that loss on his record to Fury, which means that if for some fucked up reason they don't fight, Wilder's going to have to beat AJ, beat White, and maybe Ruiz to solidify himself a little bit stronger. But that's the thing. Wilder's smart, man. And this is another added reason on why he's so adamant to get this fight. It's not only for his own retribution. It's not only for his own revenge. It's not only because there's bad blood. It's not only because there's so many lies that have been spread to dismantle his character, but because he knows this affects his legacy. Wilder's the type of man, when I look at him, right, he's a very old soul in a young man's body. And 35 is still young. He's got a very old soul. He's got a very unique spirit residing within him, and he sees the future. And I don't mean that in a literal sense. I mean it more of a metaphorically speaking. But he has that spirit in him that he can transverse himself and completely relate with somebody like the late Muhammad Ali, who pretty much gave his life and his health, rather, and then eventually his life for the sport of boxing to make sure that he solidifies himself as one of the greatest of all time. And Wilder really does truly have a very deep understanding of that. And he too, just like Muhammad Ali, wants to make sure that once he hangs his gloves up and he's in the position that Muhammad Ali was, and he becomes an ambassador for boxing, he wants people to remember him as a great heavyweight champion, one of the best to ever do it. Not only for his power, his knockout power, but him as a man, as a person. And hopefully they can fight in the third fight. It'll all be laid to rest. This is why I stress the importance of this third fight. And for those people who are saying, they just need to let it go. Nah. See, you don't understand. No disrespect, but you don't understand. This is much deeper than just some third fight, some trilogy fight. This is legacy shit. And it seems to me Fury doesn't give a flying rat's ass for legacy by the way he's acting. So I'm not sure if that answered your question, XTC. I kind of had I was on my little soapbox there for a second, but I think you understand my point. When Wilder does get his belt back, he should do. Wilder to get his belt back, he should do F all the way because they say they have been against him all the way. I hear that. Black Star says 10 title defenses should get him in. So it's like a direct question here. At Reborn, do you think we should wait for Fury October, and why, when we have lots of heavyweight contenders looking for a fight? I mean, I get where you're coming from, bro. I really, really do. I'm not, please don't take it the wrong way, with all due respect. But like I said, man, the roots run deep in this one. I mean, do we want October? Hell no. Should Wilder accept October? Hell no. But when all the bullets are fired from the barrel and the smoke is cleared and Wilder has done everything he's within his power to do to try and keep it from going to October, but it's still October, then it is what it is. I mean, the roots just run deep. And to be honest, last little point to that question, Goril, is you don't want Wilder to be a hypocrite either, right? So he's tried to get this third fight. He went above and beyond to make sure that he gets it. Now he's got it. Now, yeah, I mean, it's a shitty situation with the fight being pushed back. But if he just says, all right, I'm tired of Fury's bullshit. He's got COVID. I'm not chasing him anymore. Then you can see how that can be portrayed as like, well, it's almost hypocritical for you to chase Tyson down and then suddenly just give up on the fight. You know what I mean? So, I mean, that's kind of how I look at it. I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, he's trained, well, I mean, pretty much nonstop for a year. I don't know if the entire year has been with Malik Scott, but he's definitely sharpened up some of his skills. That's another thing that the UK fans and the Fury fans got really upset with me about. They said I was talking a bunch of horse shit about his training and his improvements. But, some people know about boxing and some people don't. So just to highlight, I think what I said, specific volume says, just don't understand. Fury cheated this man and then tried to kill him in the ring in an unfair way. So therefore, Deontay won his payback. And so do us fans and supporters of Wilder. I mean, I think that's pretty much highlighted. I want to see heavyweight fights more. I mean, just as much as everyone else. Don't get me wrong. Um, my favorite weight class generally is the middleweight division or the welterweight division, but I like me some heavyweights too, and I would love to see some heavyweight fights. But I think that we need to be patient alongside Wilder. Wilder needs our support as his fans and aid him in his journey for retribution. So before I go, I'm going to put up this picture one more time. And I want to hear you guys' thoughts. Just put it in the comment section. This will be the last little part here. What do you see when you look at this picture? Like, what goes through your mind? What do you see from Fury? What do you see from Wilder? What do you think's in Wilder's mind? What do you think's what do you think is in Fury's mind? And all jokes aside, I want you to be completely honest and put it in the comment section on what you think. Because to me, this picture speaks 1,000 words. All right. Okay. I just saw the comment from Specific Volume. Where can I contact you? I don't have an Instagram for this channel. So you can either hit me up on Twitter, which I'll put up here on the screen here in a second. It's right there at Divine Sense 1. You can hit me up there if you got Twitter. If you don't like to use Twitter or you don't have Twitter, you can also email me if it's anything to do with business. And I'll put my email address here in the comments. So if anybody wants to collaborate or if you have any private information that you don't want to share here in the live stream, then there's my email. Feel free to email me. Or like I said, I'm also on Twitter. So to answer my question that I asked you guys earlier about what you guys thought about the photo, Alex Johnson says, Wilder mean business. Jim Diamond says, Wilder, I'm going to kill you. Damn. Tom says, Wilder seriously wants to hurt Fury. Jim Diamond again says, Fury says, how do I get out of this shit? Yeah. It's pretty much what I feel too. So I think that's it, guys. I've been on here 2.5 hours. The tank's running empty. But I've really enjoyed the time up here, man, chopping up boxing with you. Once again, as I always say, I appreciate your time and energy and also patience. Sometimes I know the stream gets a little bit choppy or what have you. Much appreciated. Also, appreciate the names that you guys dropped in the live chat for me to check out. And hopefully we can get some collaborations going soon with myself and some other channels. I feel like collaborations are very powerful. You have 2 voices or 3 voices, whatever it may be, on a panel talking about boxing or any other topics that may come up. Just, men coming together as one big voice. So hopefully we can make that happen. And before I go, ATP 45 says Wild is very serious and Fury trying to read him. Yup. ATP 45. I'm not sure if you're subscribed to the channel or not. If you're not, I hope you subscribe and click the notification bell and try to stay a part of the conversation. And as I mentioned earlier, guys, before, if you guys just joined, I got my Patreon up there pinned. And once this video goes up on a normal post, then I'll put it in the normal comment section as well and then continue to push it out and explain to you guys what exactly is on the Patreon. So that's pretty much it, guys. I think I'll try not to talk about this topic anymore. I kind of told myself that after the last live stream, but if some bullshit pops up and I can't help myself, hopefully I'll be able to jump on here and maybe talk about Pacquiao Spence. And also I plan to upload some videos talking about some classic fighters. I do like to talk about the history of the sport quite often. And I'm a firm believer that you can't truly appreciate modern day fighters if you don't appreciate those who came before them. So I'm out, guys. Thanks so much for dropping by. And I'll be back with another one. You guys take care. Have a blessed day. Stay safe. Stay strong. Stay steadfast. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.